September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and all month long we are bringing stories of hope, along with education and resources. This week I spoke to Kristen Christy, who is the epitome of resilience. Kristen lost her husband to suicide, and it had a profound ripple effect throughout her family. But she has persevered with hope. Here is Kristen's story.
It was, 17 years of marriage and 4 moves with the military. He was in the Air Force. And 2 wonderful boys and 1 deployment. And I will tell you that 1 deployment, PTS, post-traumatic stress, was a stowaway in his bags coming home. And we hear about it as military spouses, pre-deployment, during deployment, post-deployment, that our military member may come back different. And sure enough, Don did. His fingernails were bitten down to the nubs. He was more reserved than typical. He was an officer. He was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. When he went to Iraq, he was second in command of the Baghdad airport and didn't tell us much about his deployment. We heard the fun stuff like the USO tours when Ted Nugent and Toby Keith came through. Really didn't share with the family what he had gone through, and he just couldn't express that. And unfortunately, 4 years after the deployment, after things just progressed downward, we had that doorbell ring.
Well, and I think what a lot of people tend to not realize is the ripple effect that something like this can have. I mean, on you, both your sons were young, right? What kind of effect did this have on your family?
You're right, the ripple effect. That's the phrase that I use for the choice that Don made. Our sons, Ryan was 14 and Ben was 12. Ryan, unfortunately, has been missing for 2,176 days. 20 September 2015 was the last time I saw him. What I have been told, and I'm not a counselor, Kristen, I am, I feel like a subject matter expert in overcoming. But what I have been told by Ryan's doctors is the suicide triggered bipolar in Ryan early. Bipolar typically presents in the early to mid 20s. And he was 16 when he was diagnosed and got into heroin and drugs and came out of that and started his own business, but has been missing for almost 6 years now. And Ben, our youngest son, was 12. And both kids have attempted suicide. And the night that Ben attempted was his 20th birthday. And I received a voicemail from him at 1:30 in the morning. My phone was off. I don't turn my phone off anymore. But 5 years ago, I received a very powerful voicemail that still to this day just rocks my world.
I miss Dad. I miss Dad so much.
It is so powerful to hear the pain and the sadness and the cry for help. How is your family doing now? How is, I know your one son, but how is Ben doing now? How are you doing now?
I have found my passion and purpose. Mark Twain has said there are 2 days, important days in everyone's life: the day they're born and the day they find out why. And I have realized that I've gone through adversities that have created and grown perseverance and patience, which has grown my character. And because of that character, there's hope. And because there's hope for tomorrow, there's power in today. And so I use our story as a beacon of hope, hopefully, for other people to, one, understand the consequences of suicide. It's hard when you have that veil of darkness, but when someone or people, your community, can come alongside and help you through that. I say this is an emotional battlefield. We all go through an emotional battlefield. We don't know what each other is battling. on a daily basis. And when we can arm ourselves with hope and with community and be a battle buddy or a wingman for each other, it just helps us get through life. Life is not easy. Right?
No, it is not. No, it is not.
And so when we can come together, we're stronger together. But sometimes we have to make the hard decisions. If someone in our sphere of influence is in crisis, we have to make that hard decision to look them in the eye and ask the question that we are so afraid to ask because we're afraid they're going to say yes. And what do we do then? But are you thinking of taking your life? Are you thinking of suicide? And if they say yes, arm yourself with the resources available with the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. There are resources in every community that you live in, and the best time to find those resources are when we're in a good place.
What an incredible woman, incredible story in that family. Kristen has worked for years to change the suicide hotline to a 3-digit number. Now that actually takes effect next year. They got it done. Until then, though, here is the number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It is there for you and your loved ones 24/7, 365 days a year.